Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Boxing Rampage. I'm your host, JC, accompanied by
Pacquiao.
And this is episode 31. Thank you so much, man. The service here is great. This show today is brought to you by Michelob Ultra. They gave us no money, but this beer is delicious. Toast.
It's a good beer to calm the weather. It's not. It's a lady beer, I'll say.
Ladies beer.
But it's to calm the heat. It's pretty good.
This is the drop. This is the. I don't know if this is drop your defenses beer. make a woman vulnerable beer. I normally don't do this, but panties. No, let me stop.
The best part is when they say that they're not gonna do nothing and they take all their clothes.
I don't do this, and next thing you know, like, oh my god, I was the first guy to make her do it. When it's more of a psychological thing to make you feel like you crossed the threshold, but. Chances are, like, case in point is like I don't want to get vulgar here, but like a girl says I don't go down on guys. Next thing you know, like, oh my god, she's doing it to me, and it's like I'm special. It's like no, you're not. Those are mental mind games. They have tricks too.
She's a pro. She's never done it, but she's a pro.
Oh my god, mind blowing. It's like, have you ever thought of a career in acting in the adult film service industry? It's like no. I don't know how we got off on that tangent. Anyway, let's focus. Let's on the topic. There's a lot to cover today. So obviously we're gonna start on what happened last week. Do you want to jump right into the Kovalev Ward situation?
Yeah, I guess, and then break into the rumors and news.
Before I go any further, I just want to say what we post on our Instagram. We don't do it in a way to be inflammatory. Just do it to put out the facts. But if anything. Anyone doesn't like or offends them, just let us know, and we'll be more sensitive to the hearts and minds of those that don't feel a certain way. But I think it's good. There was a post we put out which just put the rules and everything of the fight, which I'll discuss later on. And it wasn't done really to incite anyone. It was more done just to put the facts out there, because since Kathy Lewis said she was going to take not basically have some sort of recourse with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Thought it would be good to put that up, but that's not here nor there. Getting right into it, I'm gonna ask you first. So, what did you think about both fighters' performances? As far as let's start with what you thought of Kovalev's performance and Ward.
Kovalev started really good. I mean, it's similar to the first fight. He started winning rounds, and I think that. Well, me, basically, I was rooting for Ward because I had chosen Ward to win. But this is a thing...
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but in his defense, he was rooting for Ward, and he is, for some reason, I'm still on a losing streak. I'm like, at this point, I'm like probably like one of Kell Brook's opponents. Like, I'm really bad. Like, I'm just like, I got like 5 straight like bad picks this week included, but he originally, if you go back to earlier videos, he did pick Ward. I was going to pick Kovalev, but continue what you were saying.
And like I said, basically, it was all due to mental game and weakness, basically. All right, I want to go from, because as the fight started, the day of the weigh-in, y'all saw it on Instagram, y'all saw it on YouTube, y'all saw it everywhere. They releases a purse, and by releasing the purse, basically it answered a lot of questions that we had. The mind games, the back and forth on Twitter from Kovalev and Ward. Kovalev been really open, saying I'm gonna end your career. Basically, this is what happened. About 4 months ago or 3 months ago when the fight was announced, I had heard that Kovalev agreed to a new term based on what happened was they had the rematch clause, and the rematch clause had already a contract based on the purses and everything. Basically, Ward said that no, that he was going to retire, that he was putting pressure that he was going to retire or the fight would have been on his turn. Kovalev took the fight. Kathy Duba said not to take the fight. Kovalev took it anyways without a purse. Basically, his money will come out of the revenues and the pay-per-view buys. That's how he will, which we have heard haven't come out really good at all. But moving forward, the day of the fight, of the weigh-in, basically the day before the fight, it was released, the purse, and And it asks a lot of questions. That's why they were acting the way they were acting. That's why all the root talk, all the Kovalev not coming to a press, and then Ward not coming to the face-off, etc., etc. And Ward did it like Kovalev said on one of his tweets. Ward did his homework. He basically played all the mind games. This reminded me of, y'all might not remember if y'all millennials, but if you're a historian, you probably know of Leonard versus Duran. When Duran came on the rematch and did him dirty, like basically played the mind game, frustrated him. But moving on to what you said, I think Kovalev was doing really good, but I don't know if it was because he was Copy Box put out there that he was landing most of the punches. Maybe he gassed himself out, but like after the 5th round, he looked at gas. But not only take credit out of Kovalev, because Ward looked at gas a little bit too. Not as much as Kovalev, but they were both tired. I mean, they were both throwing out the punches. It was a really good fight. Which, like I said, I was scoring it for Ward, but I could see you score it for Kovalev. It's easy to score it either way based on what styles. I had it 4-3 for Ward. If you told me you had 4-3 for Kovalev, hey, I won't disagree. It was a real close fight at the time of the stoppage. I think that basically, and I'm sorry I'm going on around here. I'm not letting you talk, but based on everything that happened that night, I think that we can't blame Ward because he was doing his job. Some of those punches, they were low blow. There a lot of boxers out there say they were borderline. If they're borderline, you know it's borderline, right? In between, right? It's low blow. So you can't say they were borderline.
That's a big ass border.
If you're borderline,
it's a wide border, bro.
But
the stitching on that board is insane.
I think the only person that didn't do his job was Tony Weeks, and he took away from me and personally a great performance. I think for me, if I were to rate all of Ward's fight, this is his best performance and his best win. But the whole controversial with the title of the fight was no controversy. Was still controversial, so I want to let you talk on that.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think Ward has any of the blame. I mean, people online are saying, that Ward is responsible for this. How is he responsible? He just fought the fight. He did what he came to do. And as far as dirty tactics, that's part of Ward's game plan. Kovalev was doing the same thing. He was holding his head down. They were both doing certain things which were frustrating. As far as the way how I had the fight, I had Kovalev up by 1 round at that point. How I saw the stoppage, I thought it was a premature stoppage. I thought that the last blow was low. And many could argue he was finished by then. You're right. But to be fair, you have to be very fair because every action has a reaction. So by you saying that punch was good, it's negating Ward's win and it's taking away from Kovalev because. And I could understand why Tony Weeks stopped the fight. He stopped it because 1, Kovalev wasn't throwing punches, but 2, he was sitting on the ropes, which makes it look like he was just being inactive. It would have been different if Kovalev would have took a knee, then they would have given him a 10 count, and Ward would have had to go into his corner. Maybe he would have made it out of the round and regrouped somehow, But what bothers me is I was listening to Richard Dwyer. He has a channel on YouTube, but he was stating that Ward, and it's true if you look at the fight, Ward was warned in previous rounds about the low blows by Tony Weeks, and this low blow happens and the point's not deducted. And I recall, I'm pretty sure someone else saw it in the fight, Ward was intentionally headbutting, basically putting his head in on Kovalev, and those are all dirty tactics, but I feel that the burden of responsibility is on Tony Weeks, and Tony Weeks should have figured as well, this is a rematch, a world title fight. If it was the first fight, we're like, you know what, that's no here, no there. But Tony Weeks would be like, hey, look, the first fight was controversial. Let me make sure I do my homework and make sure that nothing goes to controversy. Because the thing is, it was just a bad night for him. Because, I mean, even as a referee, if you notice something like that, his thing should have been, to do the 10 count. But I also see why he did it. But when the low blow happened, he was right in front of the fighters when it happened. It wasn't like he was off at an angle. He was literally right in front of the fighters. I think Ward stepped to the side and then delivered the last blow. It wasn't like Ward was in front of him and delivered the blow. He was actually off at an angle to where even the cameraman caught the shot. So I'm pretty sure you know, the ref usually sees things more clearly. But I do feel Ward won the fight. It's what I say 1 round up is debatable because it can go either way. Still a close fight. What bothers me is that the way it was stopped was premature, and you know, fair is fair, because I mean, if it would have happened the other way around, people, you know, would have been crying even worse. So the way I see it is a fight that was close. That's off my soapbox, but I just want to ask you: do you think a rematch is warranted? Do you think a rematch should happen?
Not necessarily. I mean, there is a lot of beef between these two promotional, and look, they didn't promote the fight at all. I heard there was less than 7,000 people in attendance.
Jesus.
And as far as we know, it's less than 150 pay-per-views as of now.
Terrible.
I haven't done any research, but that was what I heard yesterday. Today I've been really busy. But going back to what you were saying, if y'all remember the Joshua Klitschko fight, where Joshua was hurt and was not answering, he was just on survival mode, moving around the ring, trying to make the count, and he came back and got the victory. So
that could have happened here.
That could have happened here, and you know, we don't know. Now we're in our mind, in the back of our heads. Now we got the what if. You know, I would have want to, and thank God I didn't pay for this pay-per-view, but
thank God, best advice. Shout out to who's the guy? I forgot who's the guy.
It doesn't matter.
Shout out to one of you guys.
Shout out to you guy right now that is free fights.
Thank you. Thank you. Your homework is going noticed. When the feds kick in your door because you're streaming free fights, bro, I'm not going to bail you out. But thank you. Nobody move. Someone's streaming free fights. It's not me. It's my mom's house. Can't go to jail. What are you in for, bro? I killed a man. What are you in for? I was streaming fucking Ward Kovalev 2 on my TV, man. Fucking fans kicked my door.
and the ref stopped the fight.
And the ref stopped the fight. It's like, the bad dude was just like, hey, you got it bad. Anyway,
but I think it was a bad night for boxing. I mean, for the athletic commission and for the referee, because Dracula. What? That guy. So, yo, I hate that guy. I'm sorry. They should ban this motherfucker. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. I remember it was Rios versus Chavez.
Yeah.
That
Diego
fight.
Chavez,
yeah, Diego Chavez was real. He disqualified Chavez. This guy is terrible. This is like the worst referee ever. I have never liked
He's
this
up
guy.
there with Pat Russell, with not hearing the bell, with the Bradley fight. I didn't hear the bell. I didn't have my hearing aid on.
He failed to put on his hearing aid.
Anyway. He did the test. Remember the hearing aid test, Pat Russell? Boop. 1 or 2? 1. Boop. 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 Ding. Ding! This earpiece doesn't work. I didn't hear the bell. Sorry.
But basically, oh man, how are you? Like, this is the second time, because the first time I could recall. I don't know if they have ever gone back to the video, the tape, but I remember when Devin Rodriguez, he was fighting in Connecticut. I forgot what was the casino in Connecticut.
One of those corrupt casinos.
Yeah.
Foxwoods, probably. Who knows?
Nah, it's something Sun.
Mohegan Sun.
Mohegan Sun. That's the one. He was fighting. Devin get the illest treatment there because he's probably like the only big boxer in Connecticut, and he brings a lot of people and whatever. So there was one time that he fought this kid from LA. I forgot his name, and he. Created a punch. Devin was losing the fight, but they stopped the fight due to the bleeding, and then the fight could continue. And then they changed. They went back and they didn't know that the punch was created by a punch, but they went back to the video and changed it to TKO because he created the punch by it. So it's some weird
favoritism.
Yeah, I think they went to the scorecard, and the way it went. They went to the scorecard, and then. They overruled it because they went back to the video and the punch was created by the cut was created by a punch. But that was like the first time I could recall seeing them going back to like the video. But regardless, this guy goes to the video, still get it wrong. What's wrong with you? First of all, you're the ref, and if y'all ever know anything about like back in the old days, the ref used to be the judge. Mm-hmm. This guy whatever you say, that's what it is. You don't gotta be questioning your balls or whatever, making sure the
It's
Rock
the
Nation.
ultimate say so.
Yeah, and he was like, "Are you sure Rock Nation paid the fees?" Yeah. The money they wired in the money. Yeah. Make it a KO, TKO.
He's like, pleasure doing business with you, Jay-Z.
It had to be something like that. Because I wouldn't mind this.
I saw Tony Weeks throw up the Rock sign after the fight. No, he's like the Rock.
I mean, I didn't mind the disqualification because he punched him after, and he was holding him and punching, which is illegal as well. So I wouldn't mind that. But the guy's undefeated, and he's Rigo. I mean, you don't want to play him that dirty. At least make it no decision right.
Oh, you talking about the Rigondeaux fight?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's terrible, man. Like, how the heck you go out and you search for your balls, and then what was the other referee, the bad guy? I forgot his name.
You talking about I see his face in my head. Sorry, I blew it.
It doesn't matter. He went and asked him for his opinion. Dude, you're the ref. This is your job. You're getting paid for this to make a decision.
That's like you're in your job, and it's like
I don't want to get in trouble for this one. That's what he was doing. I don't want to get in trouble for this one. Like,
dude, but that's the whole point of being an arbitrator, a referee. You're supposed to own up to the decision. The thing is, when you're a referee, that's what you get paid for, to make the decisions that no one else is willing to make. And right decision or wrong decision, as a referee, any decision is really justifiable if they can justify it somehow. Even when Tony Weeks stopped the fight, he didn't see it. He even admitted it. Well, people say this isn't even a legit account. I think it's legit, but saying that he didn't see it, which is his honest mistake. Maybe a lot was going on. Who knows? Like, sometimes people don't see things, but as a referee, you shouldn't have to run around to someone else to go figure it out, because you're the go-to guy. They're gonna look at you like, I don't know what the fuck. You're the referee, right? You tell me. Didn't you study a manual that tells you like what the rules are?
And if y'all go back to if I can't pronounce his name, but the kid that fought the Rock. Going back to
shit.
They pick and choose. For this one, they went back to the video and still got it wrong. But for the other one, they didn't go back to the video. It's like they. Are you always going to use the video or not? Like,
yeah, I think chances are, the way the fight was looking, Ward would have won the fight. I don't see it the other way, because he put the momentum. But just to have no doubts, because the whole point of the rematch was to basically take away the doubt from who was better. That's the point of a rematch. If a fight is close to the first fight, the rematch should clarify any doubts. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But the thing is, now, even with that win, like, there's still that what if. Like, what if the referee would have gave him a 10 count? Which I think, even if they didn't take a point away from Ward and they said, Ward, go to your corner. Even if he didn't see the blow, hey, Cove, you get 10 seconds, that's it. It's like, I didn't see it. Hey, he was complaining to the referee, whatever the case is. But just to be fair, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't look at this like he was losing already, because it's like you said, there's a bunch of fights where people are losing. Things go the other way, even with the Joshua thing, and they come back and win the fight. So you can't look at it to where that's the whole point. That's where the term "a puncher's chance" come from. Basically, as long as the fight's still happening, anything can happen, and if you land that one punch, it's over.
This is one thing. If he would have been hitting him to the head, I understand why you're stopping the fight. He was punching to the body. I have never seen a boxer going to the hospital or being in a coma for a body shot. I haven't seen it. I have heard about him bleeding, peeing blood and all the other stuff, but I haven't seen him yet, going unconscious or going on a coma for a body shot. So if you would have said the body was illegal, why are you stopping the fight? The guy, probably he's fooling himself. And also another thing, you got to give the question about doubt to the other boxer who's complaining. Like, dude, I understand you were crying wolf there, but at least, and maybe when he got him low for real, you should at least, tell the guy, hey, keep him up, just for the heck of it. You don't know if you're not putting attention. If you being like Dracula, so you don't know what the fuck's going on. At least give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, hey, just keep him up. Sometimes we all seen fights where the guy just say, oh, keep him up, and they're not that low, and the guy has to completely change to headhunt because he don't want to get disqualified, or he don't want to get a point deducted because the fight is that close, It's boxing, man. We will never be satisfied. So last week I said about the Top Rank app. The Manny Pacquiao actually is going to be on ESPN. They have merged and they are working together now. They still don't have the app. The app is gonna be just like you said about like the WWE app, where you can see all the history of boxing, all the old fights, etc., etc. And they're probably gonna stream some fights there too. ESPN have their own app also, which probably they're gonna have something similar. But yeah, the app is coming. But hey, great, we're getting Pacquiao on free TV, which is awesome. I'm really excited for it. Mayweather, there was a rumor one time that Mayweather was gonna fight on free TV, and it never happened for the Berto fight. I remember, but I'm hype about this. I think that this fight is not a great fight, but being on free TV and fighting Horn,
and he's a top fighter too.
Yeah.
It's not like just he's like the best fight. He's still on the pound for pound rankings, like the best fighter out this era.
A lot of people,
one of the best fighters. Excuse me, I don't want to offend Mayweather fans.
A lot of people are going to tune in. But yeah, I was told at first that it was going to be in the app, which they was going to stream the pay-per-view here, but no, it's going to be on ESPN, which is awesome. Moving on, what we got?
Were we going to discuss the Triple G Canelo press tour, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they got. You want to touch up on it?
Yeah, no, it's pretty basic. I just want to mention they're doing a good job of covering it. It seems like Triple G and Canelo have a very amicable relationship, very professional. It sounds like they're just competitive at this point with each other, and they're going to make an exciting fight. But I know on First Take, Stephen A. Smith was saying, I guess he wanted them to be more verbal, more emotional about it. But so now I think they respect each other highly, and they're keeping it as such. But I strongly believe that when they happen to fight, it's going to be very competitive. But to the casual fan that doesn't recognize it, I hope they don't overlook. I hope this is the fight that's not overlooked. And I'm glad Oscar's promoting this far out so he can engage all of the fans in it, to where he can get the most amount of fans.
Yeah. So
shout out to him for doing a great job on that.
Yeah. So far they had a press tour on London, which it's pretty funny because Sanders told
You lost your pencil.
told GGG that he lost his pencil, and he told Canelo that he shit his pants, which is super hilarious. He cut him out of nowhere, just asking a random question. So that was funny. They have a video, I Am Boxing, which is like a short film. I'm sorry, which is awesome. I saw it. It's pretty good. Hopefully they release it. So you guys can watch it. It's probably on YouTube somewhere. So you probably try to search for it. They practically build the fight on it, saying, this is history, basically. This fight is going to be history, and they compare it to like the old fights, Hagler, Hearns, etc., etc. Good for them. Kudos to them on that one. I think they're doing pretty good. Great promotion for this fight. They know they're going against Floyd McGregor, so they got to put in hard work, and they're doing it so far.
Yeah, okay. And I guess I just want to discuss, obviously, fights that are already going to happen. A lot of promotions going on, Mikey Garcia, Adrian Broner, this fight we just mentioned. I think this is just a good year for boxing. I know next week is not going to be a busy week in boxing because, just a little bit of play in between the summertime. Anything else you want to discuss? I think that's...
I think that's about it. What's next for Andre Ward?
Yeah, as far as Andre Ward and obviously Kovalev, I'll segue into the rumor as far as Kovalev is thinking of dropping John David Jackson, getting another trainer. That's a two-part question. What do you think is next for Kovalev as far as getting a trainer or career changes? What do you think is next for Andre Ward as far as career changes or next fight? Does he move up? Does he stay?
He could fight Kovalev. I think he's doing great with John David Jackson. Don't let media and all the people get in between what you got. I think Kovalev and Yago before John David Jackson, he was off balance. He's a little bit sloppy. He would get the KO, but he probably got dropped back in the days, and it was like fast knockdowns, but the guy was just sloppy. I think John David Jackson adds something to his team, so I think he should keep him. I think for Kovalev, I think maybe searching the Dan Stevenson fight.
You mean Ward?
Ward, I don't know. I don't think he'll fight Stevenson due to the fact that JC and Heyman have beef, and they probably won't work together. So maybe he mentioned going up for the cruiserweight or fighting Joshua. So I think cruiserweight he probably fight value who was his the enemy on the movie The Creed. Which is funny. So they could build something there and make money. I think Warrior right now is all about the money. Yeah, it proved it.
Rightfully so. I mean, he's been inactive for the part of the best years of his career with the whole promotional issue. So.
Yeah, and by the look of it, Rock Nation is not going to make any money on this past fight. So
dude, how do you pay a guy $6 million, $5 million guaranteed, and this performance? I mean, I don't know how anyone breaks even in a situation like that.
It's terrible. The numbers are bad so far, and I think that they should, if they want to make money with War, they got to like feed them to the sharks, basically. Send them to the UK, fight value there if you want to fight a cruiserweight. That's the only way. I think Value's still carrying that belt. He haven't vacant it, so they could do it. It could happen. So I mean, it is what it is.
No, yeah. I see the same thing as well. You can move up to cruiserweight, fight someone, or try to get the Stevenson fight. And one thing I think is a big issue with the Stevenson fight is that Adonis Stevenson normally likes to fight in Canada. Ward obviously likes to fight in hometown. Doesn't like to leave the United States for fights. So that could be a big issue. For Ward, I think it's tough because he's a very good fighter, but being that he's unwilling to compromise when it comes to location and stuff like that, rightfully so, you don't want to get robbed or anything like that, then it's harder. But for his situation, he's probably going to take time off, and if I were him, if I can't get the Stevenson fight, which is the one that makes the most sense at the current division, then I would just move up. I think that's pretty much it. Anything else? I think that's it. I can't read that.
Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. There's not much going on.
Slow news week.
Yeah. I want to go watch the Bone Ramirez fight. Pretty good fight. Really close. Could have gone either way. I might catch. I don't want to go into details, but thank you for the support. For the likes, the views, we appreciate it. Anything you can comment below. Following us on Instagram at Boxing Rampage, and email us at boxingrampage1@gmail.com. So we appreciate you guys.
All right, Boxing Rampage out.